going for double touch. Good.
Hello and welcome to this Tuesday edition of the RLPC, where we have CO2 vs. Aftershocks. And I am Johnson42, joined by Fireball. Fireball, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to this matchup of the two minor teams. What are you expecting from these two teams tonight?
From these two teams, I see CO2 has two people flexing, or no, one person flexing their grand champion tag. So let's see if he appears tonight. That'll be Elements. And for Aftershock, nobody's flexing anything at the moment. So we'll see if there's any standout players for the night.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a good match as we are underway. Element turns back slow. Rocket gets dunked on by Roland, but Sully puts a long shot in, and Disaster Piece turns it away. Element drives to the corner, hits it high off the backboard. Drives underneath it, Sully gets in, dumps it back into the corner, waiting for it on the wall, lets Roland take it over, centers it to a pass to Elemental, but gets beat out by Disaster Piece. Sully surveys the field, waits for it, gets a flick off it, but Rocket turns him away, puts it into the corner. Element tries to center it for Sully. Sully decides not to go for it, bounces it off the wall, up to Roland. Roland gets a shot off, hits the backboard, and Name is able to clear. Element up high, looking for a flip reset maybe. Does he get the flip reset? No, he does not. Sully with a good bump, so he avoids the clear. Disaster Piece hits it high off the board. Roland keeps it in. Rocket in the goal. It's a high pass up. Taking Names. Dumps it. Roland keeps it pressure in. Blue team really ramping up the pressure. Hasn't seen the ball cross the half line yet. And Sully gets a shot off and hits it top corner. Beautiful shot by Sully.
Yeah, that almost at this moment seemed as an inevitable, as CO2 are applying a lot of pressure, keeping the ball in the other half. Anytime Aftershock would clear it, CO2 would quickly just bump it back in. Aftershock just wasn't getting that clear to play like they were wanting, so they were unable to generate any offense. Let's see if they can change that throughout the match.
Yeah, absolutely. Aftershock really needs to step it up as a good shot, and Rocket looks for the tip, just misses, but it doesn't matter. Still finds its way, and that's what they needed. That's a good way to respond to the first minute and a half. Seemed to be all controlled, and now they get a quick one back.
Yeah, I think he just wasn't. He was expecting a tip, so he was going to try to go after it, but he failed on it and gave a distraction, so they were able to get a goal back, and quickly they're back in this match.
Absolutely. But they give one up right away. Again, this is a quick-paced, fast-scoring game. Elements doesn't like to be tied. He wants it back, wants the goal lead with that brand-new Season 11 Grand Champ. Dunks it, gets the go-ahead goal. Quick face-off. If we can play more than 5 seconds this time before getting a goal, Disaster doesn't want to, but Elements keeps it out, dumps it long downfield. Taking Names, gets it hit over him to Rocket. Rocket looking for a clear, passes out to Disaster Piece, but he gets tripped up by Sully. Roland, center pass to Element. Elements looks for the back pass back to Sully. Sully, up in the air, doesn't quite make contact as Rocket hits it high up in the air. Disaster Piece hits it over, looking for that top corner, doesn't find it, hits the crossbar, real close, still dangerous. Element hits it high and out of control. Rocket sends it back in deep and pays the price for it, though. Roland hits it off the corner. Back and forth play.
Elements got a little lucky there that the ball was just a bit high and hit off the bar, and that there was nobody there to follow up on that shot, because if anyone was there to follow up there after hitting the crossbar, that would have been an easy goal right there. So we just got a little lucky there.
Definitely played it well. Roland hits it for the center ball, no one there. Rocket takes up the wall. Sully's there this time, dunks it over him. Taking names, hits it high off the ward, trying to get the pass the center line, but is not able to. Element dumps it in deep. Rolling, gets it over his guy, but great pass to Disaster Piece as he buries it. A really quick transition there. Just what you want to see.
So yeah, with Aftershock here, they're not going to seem the type of team to hold offense. It's either going to take a shot or two and get the goal off, or they're just going to be reclining defense for most of the match.
Rowan versus taking names gets the better of that, but Sully hits him in deep, high off the backboard. Rocket needs to make contact with this, but he doesn't. Disaster Piece able to clear it away for him. Element send it back in, taking names, hits it high off the ward. Gets almost a double bump. Can Rowan finish it? Hits it off. Sears Sully, he places it. He does. He places it perfectly in the lower corner. Perfect shot by Sully. Back to some great bumps by Element.
Disaster tried to go in for the pre-jump to get there, but he just wasn't fast enough, and that was just another simple, easy goal for CO2 to just knock them and give them the lead in this match.
CO2 takes the lead back. Taking names, dumps it down into their corner. Sully hits it back to the center line. Disaster Piece centers it to Rocket. Rocket looking for a pass back, doesn't quite connect his roll and dumps it away. Rocket keeps the pressure on. It's a weird bounce off the wall, and not quite able to read that. Taking names, tries to center it. Elements helps him a little bit, but passes it out to Sully. He's in the center line. Slowly gets a long boomer shot. Does he have it? Hits it off the post. Taking names. Commentation takes it out of the danger area. That was close one. Almost went up by 2. Sully hits it deep. Tries to get with a 50-50 against Rocket. Not able to. Rocket hits it past his own teammate and the other team. Rolling looking for it. Slows it down. Surveys the field. Hits it up over 1. Taking names ready for the hit. Sends it back down. Can he beat the 2 defenders? Tries to hit top corner. Not quite. Element with the great save. Dumps it far downfield. Can he beat the player on the offense? Taking names. Takes it slow. Off the corner. Gets a good bounce. Not quite able to squeeze it into that short side. Great defense there. Pops it up.
Elements came in clutch with 2 big saves right there, keeping Aftershock from tying up this game late into this match, giving CO2 a lead with 30 seconds left in the match right there. That might be a play of the game right now for them.
Strong defense coming out. Just what we needed. Roland takes a shot. Aftershock not had any of that. Sully with the center pass. No one there. Tries to follow himself, but taking names. Passes it to Rocket. Rocket's up. Can he finish it? Oh, he doesn't quite make contact with it. Taking names, pops it up. Disaster Piece is up. But Roland clears it quickly as there's 5 seconds left. This might be it. They have to keep it up. Gets it high off the wall. And CO2 lets it hit the ground for the game 1 goes to CO2.
Yeah. A match there. I think CO2 had the majority of shots on net right there, keeping an overwhelming pressure on Aftershock. But that's not to say that Aftershock didn't have any counterattacks of their own. But simply, I think Aftershocks need to have more applied pressure and keep CO2 out of their zone if they want to try to have a little bit more success.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it was CO2 really controlling the majority of the play. A few trip-ups by them really allowed Aftershock to stay in this game. But if Aftershock wants to really win the next game and take control, they have to keep that pressure up. It starts with some better rotations, some stronger hits. A few times they just seem to pop the ball up, and no one was there to follow it up. So that's what I like to see.
Yeah, CO2 I'll say they'll clean up this game and take the series if they're able to react on the counter defense. As all the goals that Aftershock seem to have were either off the kickoff or from a counterattack with a quick shot on net. So there isn't much you can really do about that. So they either need to have a player that's more back or just be able to react in different ways and situations as the time changes and see if they can get a player back faster than normal.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like we have one player disconnected because his game crashed. Well, in your opinion, so we have CO2 seems to have 2 grand champs on their team. If you're on the other team, does that distract you at all, or does that play into the mind tricks a little bit, seeing that fancy gold plate on the other team?
Well, one of their grand champs is a grand champ in the ice mode, so that can go about as far as you want it to go. But with the season 11 grand champ tag, I think that'll get them some mileages and try to discourage. But I don't know. I feel like for most people, they'll see that as a superficial tag, and they want to see someone perform themselves. instead of just have a tag. And so it can go either way. It just depends on the player on how it's going to affect them mentally.
Yeah, this is a minor league matchup, so not as many Grand Champ tags as you might see in maybe the Major League, but still, they're still out there. Obviously, as like you said, the Snow Day tag maybe doesn't quite strike the fear in the souls of the other team as much as the Grand Champ, but it's definitely up there. So it looks like teams are joining sides as we get ready for Game 2. The countdown begins, and here we are, Game 2. Looks like Elements first, Disaster Piece. Elements gets the win. Can he keep the pressure on? Trying to line up a nice 50-50. Does, able to center it high. Take a name, sends it, passes it down to Rocket, but Roland gets in the way of that. Take a name, doesn't want to go center, but Roland does. Backflip by Rocket. Roland looking for a weak shot. Gets it, but Rocket slows it down. Tries to dribble. Sully jumps a bit too high to put it on net, but still able to stop the breakout. Rocket hits it high, down to Roland. Roland off the backboard, but a great clear Disaster Piece. Can he get a counterattack going? Doesn't have any boost though, so he's not able to really keep the pressure up. Rocket hits it off the backboard, the sideboard, around the defender. Great play. Slows it down. Tries to get the ball up far. Maybe a pass, decides to go for it himself. Off the corner. Roland slows it down, gets bumped. Fights through it. Takes off a 50-50 by taking names, but loses it. Sully's up high. Flips forward, trying to get it over the defender, but not quite. Disaster Piece is patient with it. Elements, so many demos coming up. Can Roland finish it? Hey, can some great demos by CO2 to open up the passing lanes and bury it deep.
Yeah, solely right there with the double demo, opening up the net and opening up that corner box. I think although he may not have any, let's say like credit in the play, he does have a lot to do with that play with the demos and clearing up the lane for his teammates to get the passes and get the goal.
Yeah, it's surprising Scion still hasn't made demos worth any points, but they are worth way more than points when they get a goal. Surprisingly difficult save for Roland as he's able to turn it aside just barely after a long shot. Elman turns it around, but gives it over to Take a Name. Take a Name goes up, hits it high, looking for that corner piece, but not able to drop it down to Rocket. He gets it off the backboard. Disaster Piece hits it high up, goes up after himself. He has him versus Elements, but he fakes it, and Roland comes in with the big save, waiting for that fake. He was not fooled by that, as Element takes it himself up the field. It's high up the corner. Disaster Piece hits round one, but not around two. Sully hits it back into play, off the backboard. Taking Names tries to get it out, but he centers it for Roland, but he was backward, so he was unable to get a hard shot. Element centers it to Taking Names. Taking Names maybe stole it from his teammate there, who wasn't able to get a hard shot. Sully gets bumped around by his own teammates, trying to clear the ball. A couple double commits coming on from both sides. Will it benefit either team? And Sully's low on boost. Oh, and he plays it slow, and he's able to hit it past the other guy.
Yeah, right there, I think the low boost played in Sully's favor as he was going to go for a weaker shot. Rocket came flying through, expecting a hard, fast shot to get it in, but Sully with a slower shot gets it through and somewhat fakes him out with the shot.
Rocket living up to his name, coming in flying hot, but gets faked by the goal. The 2-0 lead now by CO2. They're not finished yet to keep the pressure up. Elements. Let's Roland going. Good communication there as they don't double commit. Sully keeps it in deep, but maybe a slow pass back to Rocket and he hits it high and wide. Not the communication you're looking there for as there's a double commit, but third man comes in and keeps it deep. Sully, tough bounce, tough angle, good read, able to clear it to the side. Tries to flip through it. Takes it slow as he has zero boost. Lets it go. Roland coming in. Can he beat the defender? No, he does not. Goes 50-50 to the side, but a bad read there by the defender. Goes right underneath him. Thankfully, his team's there to cover him. Element tries to get a touch. Disaster Piece hits it to the corner as Rocket comes in and cleans it up. Sends it high into the center. Taking Names. Can he win the 50-50? Doesn't seem to be quite. There's definitely a wash there on the 50-50. Elements to pass to Sully. Very close as Taking Names comes up and Rocket steals from it. Another double commit there on defense from Aftershock. Gotta start to clean up their communication a little bit.
Roland trying to do what he can with no boost, but unable to avail.
Ball goes high into the corner. Roland's up, looking for the shot. Hits it down, but good save by Taking Names. Able to clear it away as well. Element send it back in center. Looking for Sully. Sully gets there, beats the defender. buries it deep to pick up 3-0 with a minute 30 left.
Something interesting that I am gonna note here. Elements did take off his Grand Champ banner. It's just something I want to note here real quick.
Well, it seems to be working for them as they are up 3-0 in this game. It seems like they've cleaned up their mistakes from last game, haven't allowed any counterattack goals. As I say that, Element coming into the save almost makes it look bad, but no problem for him. Sully looks for the block, but lets it go to Roland. Roland passes it up to Sully, but it's intercepted by Taking Names. He's trying to play it off the wall. Gets a weak shot on net, might have behooved him to play it a little, look for a better pass and a weak shot like that. But Elements is up. He's flying around, looking for someone. As Rocket comes in and gets a weak shot, but Sully clears it away. Taking Names, looking for another center, but no one's there. Element takes his time, is patient, flicks it up, looking for a pass. Almost connects with the pass there. That would have been a beautiful goal. Taking Names, gets it around one. The net's open, can Disasterpiece finish it before Sully gets back? Not quite. Sully with the very nice save to get back. Hustled his way all the way back. Clears it wide. The threat's not over yet. Roland needs to make a big clear. Here he does not quite make contacts, but fakes out the offender. Elements with a great clear off the ball. Good read. It's not easy to make that type of hit. Disasterpiece looking for a center. He does center, but no one's there. The third guy was rotating back, not able to make connection with it. And this game, as it winds down, it really seems like CO2 cleaned up those mistakes we talked about in between games, was able to give it to them as they take a two-game lead in the series.
Yeah, so they're going into their match point coming into the next game. So let's see if they just continue playing the same or if they're going to try to spice it up to maybe confuse Aftershock. Aftershock seemed to have cleaned some points, but they didn't get to the key points, and so they were just leaking too many goals and letting too many shots come by, and they weren't able to find much success.
Yeah, sometimes it seems like they are half a step behind the CO2 team. They just aren't able to quite get the clears like they needed. The rotations by CO2s are almost perfect, constantly keeping that pressure on, just waiting for Aftershock to hit it just off a little bit or make a small mistake, and then they are jumping and capitalize it. And they just haven't had really an opportunity to go down on offense. Anytime they do get down there, it doesn't seem like their rotations are clean enough as their opponents are, and they're just not able to keep that pressure up or really get any decent shots.
Yeah. Oh, Element's saying something about on stream that it says he lost the game. Yanks, can you confirm with us what's going on about this game losing? Element said that his GM who's watching the stream says that the CO2 lost the game. No, Aftershock lost the first game. They lost 3-2. Oof. Yanks did an uh-oh.
Make a quick adjustment there, but it is 2-0 CO2. First game was close. The second one was not as much, and we're hoping for another close game here. Sully and Rocket take the face-off. Taking Names. That's a little quicker. That's what you need to see from them. As Disasterpiece is there, hits it high off the backboard. No one's there to clean it up, but they did double commit. Taking Names, gets shot off the post. There's no one there. Can he finish it? He's not able to. Element turns him away. Taking Names, centers the ball again up to Sully. Sully with a great touch over to Roland. Roland gets it in deep. Element not able to beat Disasterpiece, but Roland keeps it in deep. Element looking for a shot. What a pass there, and a surprise shot caught the defense off guard, and they take a 1-goal lead 30 seconds in.
So something that I've just quickly noted now that I've realized that's been happening throughout the matches, a way that Aftershock could start to take control of the matches is if they take control of the boost. The CO2 have been using a lot of boost for aerial play, so I think if they take out their aerial option, Aftershock might see some success on their own zone if they're able to control the boost.
Definitely, if you control that boost, you control the speed of play, and that's what you want. Sully hits it high in the center, looking for Elements. Element doesn't quite get the read as Taking Names dunks it over him. Taking Names looking for the follow-up. Rocket's also up. Rocket hits it, and Sully and Roland combine for the clear. Up to Elements. Elements chasing up on the corner. Tries to get a center, but the corner eats his jump, so he's not able to hit it off the wall. The Rocket gets a good dunk on, and they send it over to Element. Element hits it fast too. Over to Sully. Sully does not quite make contact. He did have an open net there, but it hits up to Roll. Roll looks for that lower corner. Rocket tips it into his own net. Not what you need when you're down 2 games, but still a good shot by Roland.
And Rocket there, he just sort of popped it up for somebody on the enemy team to take the shot. Not the best clear, if you will. I think if he just let the ball go into the corner, that would have been a better choice. But as they say, hindsight's 2020.
Absolutely, 2 goals. They're up 2 goals. CO2 is up 2 goals now with a minute 20 gone. You need Aftershock to really step it up here. Taking aims, trying to keep the pressure up. It looks like he's low on boost. Tries to center his teammate. Rocket's not quite close enough. Vasily takes over control. Rocket hits a boomer downfield to a waiting Elements, who hits it high back up and follows it up. Trying to get another touch. Does. Maybe a 3rd touch. Not quite enough boost to connect to it again as his Disasterpiece clears it high off the wall. Waits patiently for the ball to come back to him and then hits it down to Sully. Disasterpiece keeps the pressure up. Hits it high. Taking names. Not quite the read you're looking for. And a great clear by the defense all the way down the field. Disasterpiece with a good touch there to keep it out of danger. Double commit there by CO2 gives a counterattack goal to Aftershock, which is exactly what they scored all their goals by and exactly what they need more of.
Yeah, I think Elements there just wasn't aware that his teammate was close by. Maybe didn't have that communication, and therefore Sully wasn't able to get the shot that he wanted to get that goal. And so with the double commit, that left one player who just was a little bit too far forward and just an easy goal for Aftershock. So let's see if they can roll off that energy, get a 2nd goal, tie it up, and maybe a 3rd to win this match.
Absolutely, momentum is huge in Rocket League, and they have it right now. If they can keep up the pressure and the momentum, then they will be able to take it. There's only a 1-goal lead with over half the game left. Plenty of time. Disasterpiece tries to center, but no one there. Rolling with a big clear. Element goes down in. Rolling gets called off, but gets the ball anyway. Taking names. Elements with a big demo. Does free up some space. Sully, a pass over to Elements. Hits a crossbar. Sitting right there. Can they bury it? And Roland comes in and is able to bury it to take back that 2-goal lead.
And we see again that setup demo play. The 2 times that they've used it to try to get a shot on it has been very effective. So they know how to use this demo play, and it's probably a play that they practice and try out when they're just playing regular.
Oh, a team save there by Rocket and Disasterpiece keeps the ball out. Elements goes for the top-down shot, but gets rejected. Rocket takes control of it, but not for very long as Sully sends it back in deep and taking names, sends it high. Roland tries to send it to his teammate. Elements does win it. 36 boost to his name, looks for the pass to Sully, looks for the fake. Oh, he almost fakes both. Teams had so many options there, and he wanted to take his time and survey all of them, but a great defensive play by Aftershock to keep the ball out. Elements turns on it after getting it to himself, hits it off the wall, goes for a bump, not able to connect with anyone as Rocket hits it, clears it very far. Sully sends it back in deep. Disasterpiece around Sully, centers it, looking for his teammates, but no one's there. Rocket comes back and saves that long shot. Rocket bounces off the head a few times, taking names, slow plays it, tries to control it, keeps it close to him. Roland's not having any of that, sends it all the way down the other end, and they have to restart their offensive push. Element hits it high. Another demo by Roland frees some things up. Element takes his time going up the wall, surveys all his options, tries to get it to the center, but is not able to. Roland sends it back down into the corner. Roland gets himself behind it, not quite enough to keep Rocket from going down the field. Taking names is there for the shot, but Roland beats him. Element hits it downfield. A double backflip whiff. It's 3 on. Oh, can they bury it? And they can. Really, defense, they were all pushing up to try to get a goal, and they just weren't able to get it.
Yeah, 2 critical misses there. One from Taken In, and I think one from Rocket. They both missed the ball and an opportunity to get it back in. And so everyone else was just pushed too far forward, and then that was just an easy, simple goal and a knock-in for CO2 to basically clinch up this match for 4-1 and have the series to their name.
Yep, 40 seconds left and 3-goal leads. Definitely not looking good as Aftershock's only scored 2 goals in the other games, so a total of 3 now to score 3 in 30 seconds doesn't seem likely, but we have seen crazier things in Rocket League as Rocket hits it off, and it's almost an own goal, but a great save by Roland. Taking his follows up, but is not able to get it on net as Element floats around. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. So he goes for the demo, almost messes up Rocket just enough, but Rocket recovers and makes a save. It was really a show by CO2 this series. They really came in with a game plan with the demos, and they were able to take it to Aftershock. They didn't really seem to ever get their footing besides a few counterattacks as they take the series 3-0.
Yep. And something I noticed with CO2 that other teams might be looking out for is their demo play is most definitely it's a set piece play where they've been practicing this for a while. Because as you can see, they did it when they had 2 of the Aftershock players out of the net instead of when there was only 1 player in net. They would go for demo him and try to get the ball in. As soon as they get the ball past one of the 2 defenders, that's it. It's going to be almost for sure a guaranteed